I don't think serious speeches need silliness, but every now and then a little silliness can be a great way of making a serious point really, really land. And I thought we saw this actually over the coronavirus pandemic, where it was so serious, and God, every night we were seeing these awful stories and we were all filled with fear about our loved ones and our families, and the most absurd little clips were going viral on social media. And people loved it. I remember the news clip where someone was speaking from home and, their child came running in, and, there was another one where there was a woman that was giving an interview, and she had a huge dildo on the shelf behind her. And it was like this kind of thing. It just created like a wonderful joy. And I think sometimes just being able to break the seriousness of a situation with a little quick silly can give people this enormous sense of relief and catharsis that we just need. And I think particularly in Britain, and I know it's the case in Finland as well, just using a little bit of humour at the very beginning of your speech, just to bond with the audience. It always feels to me a bit like breaking an egg, and it's just a way of cracking open the shell. And now we're cooking. Yeah, I think a little levity in a speech is really, really important. Work is very, very serious, but most communication is very light-hearted, and this is how we really connect with people. It's one of the things that I'm often asked, do you have a good joke that I could begin with? And I have kind of a range of jokes, for different people that I've collected through the years. You can just start with the kind of, the funny quotation, the classic is that, Winston Churchill said that a good speaker should stand up, speak up and shut up in rapid succession, and that's exactly what I intend to do tonight. And it's not rip-roaring funny, but nevertheless it'll make people smile. Oh, they're making the effort, and so you can have a little quick gag like that, or you can have the more extended anecdote, the shaggy dog kind of story, where you can take one of the things that I do quite often is take the old Englishman, Irishman, Scotsman jokes. You can't tell Englishman, Irishman, Scotsman jokes anymore. They're not politically correct, but you just tweak them around and you're like, let's make the Englishman Boris Johnson and the Irishman, and you kind of play with it. The Irishman would be Donald Trump or someone like that, and you can normally convert them and bring them up to date in that kind of way. So jokes, I'm very pro recycling with jokes, but the best kind of humour, I think, is the self-deprecating one, where you just kind of you deflate yourself. A bit of humility, and audiences love that, because when you get a speaker, particularly one who's a highly paid CEO or a very powerful politician, it's a way of bringing them down so they're level with the audience. It's better for the politician to come out here and tell a joke that makes them the jerk, rather than having the audience say, you're a jerk. You take control of it.